Welcome along to another video with me, Jenny Kirk. We're doing another box opening review, probably because the weather is really cold. We've been having a lot of snow, and in fact the Garden Railway has looked more like A's Gill in a snowstorm on a BTF video. But we're inside and it's reasonably warm. But we've got a whole pile of train porn to work our way through. Yeah, we've been out shopping and bought far too much with Christmas money. And today, what I'd like to show you is this Hornby 20-ton brake van, and its catalogue number R6710. And what this is the now standard 20-ton Eastern Region design brake van, and it's in the Dutch livery. Now, this is a brake van which, when Hornby announced it, everybody went, "Oh, you're going head to head with Bachmann there. What do you think you're doing?" And actually, this is one of the things I've noticed of late. I'm actually buying more Hornby brand new than I am Bachmann, and a lot of this is down to price. And as you saw on the end there, it's still got the price tag on the end. This cost brand new the princely sum of £13.50. Now, you compare that to the Bachmann version, which has been out longer, admittedly, and this is now selling for, I think they're over £20 now. It's becoming quite silly, the price levels of a model which has been in production for a good few years now. And really, it has to be said that in this instance, Hornby have come into the market and they've actually produced a model which is marginally better in terms of build quality to the Bachmann model, which indeed they probably had to. But they've been able to deliver it at nearly half the price. And for that alone, I think it's safe to say that as Hornby are now quite content to bring out a couple of new liveries of these every once in a while, that I'm afraid, Bachmann, you're not going to get a look in anymore. There is a Dutch liveried one of these that's been recently released in the Bachmann range, and to be honest, I can't see when this has come to the market with such a good build quality and such a brilliant price, how on earth that is possibly selling. Now, we've got the now standard de rigueur plastic insert. I'm going to take that out. There's no separately applied detail, so we're going to put that to one side, and we can see there, as soon as we've got it out, we've got a lovely model here with good quality. It's pretty solid there. It's moulded out of a slightly flexible plastic for the running boards on there, and to be honest, it probably needs it because it's going to get knocked, and you don't want these snapping and breaking off. So you can see there is some flex in there. We've got the couplings in a standard NEM pocket, and we've got a very basic representation of the underframe detail. But here is the caveat. I always say this: underframe detail, for the sake of having it, really is just wasted expense. It bumps up the price of the model, and in my view, it doesn't really add much for most people. We do have the brake shoes there, and they line up perfectly with the wheels, and now that is a very good plus point, because in a lot of models, the brake shoes are moulded as part of the side detail. What we can see here as well, we've got flush glazing in there, in the end partitions of this van. That is pretty nice, and actually as well, if you look very, very closely in that, and you have to look really, really closely, it's actually got all of the internal fittings. Like there's a brake wheel, and there's some other bits and pieces in there, which really, you'd probably have to dismantle this thing to be able to see them properly. It is quite astounding, the level of detail that has gone into that. As far as livery application is concerned, there are a few detractors here. I'm seeing the yellow is a bit fuzzy around the edges. There's a little bit of overspray. Now, I'm not quite sure whether this is just my particular example or whether this is common to the entire production run. So, well, I'll have to let that one slide a little bit, but when you do get close to it, there is that fuzzy edge. That said, on the full-sized ones, were the liveries applied as crisply as we seem to come to expect them in model form? I don't know. We've got separately applied handrails here, and again, these are moulded from a very springy plastic, so they're less prone to breaking, and that is good. We've got the TOPS data panel there, coded ZTO, which means that it's in the engineer's fleet, four-wheeled wagon. The T, I think, stands for some kind of brake van or personnel carrier, and the O is because it's completely unbraked. So there's no braking system this other than its own handbrake. That means that it cannot affect the train brakes and cannot pass through the train brakes. To be honest, most of these vans were either unfitted or only piped. The piped models could be, the brakes on the train could be applied by the guard, but they just wouldn't apply particularly with the van. And maybe this was just to cut down on complexity. This particular Bachmann model, I would interject at this point, is a braked variety, and you can see on the bottom it's got the vacuum braking detail, and that's because it's an original London and North Eastern Railway build. In later years, a lot of the vacuum braked wagons were subsequently rendered either piped only or unbraked by the removal of the brake gear. We can see actually on the underside there is a space there which is presumably where on a braked model Hornby would apply separate brake detail. The running boards run the full length of the wagon. We've also got very nice and crisp sole bar detail, and we've got the works building plate in there. Again, it is very crisply modelled. I can't actually read it with my tired old eyes, but I have every confidence that in an extreme close-up we're going to be able to read what's on that plate and also what's on some of these data panels on the side. We also have the overhead wire warning flashes crisply applied, and that's in marked contrast to the slightly fuzzy yellow across the top there. There's not really much else that can be said about this wagon other than on these wheels, it's something I've noticed on a lot of Hornby wagons. They have flat back faces, but then you have the front faces inset right back. So the actual tread of the tyre on the wheel sticks out, and I think this detracts a little bit, and I think perhaps Hornby could have made the wheels look a little bit better by moulding them with the inset on the backs and try and make the front slightly flatter so that they look more like the prototypes. That said, they're buried there behind an awful lot of detail, and they are good quality solid wheels, very free running, so it is only a minor niggle. The buffers aren't sprung, but you wouldn't really expect that on wagons. Altogether there, for £13.50, this wagon, despite those minor discrepancies with livery application and the wheels, I have to say, still gets a solid 9 out of 10. And if I had to recommend this wagon or the Bachmann wagon, I would have to say that actually, we put them side by side there, the Hornby wagon has it slightly ahead on detail application, which you would expect with a slightly newer wagon that was brought to a market after this that has to compete. But on price, hands down, really, Bachmann, you're in the bin. The sin bin maybe, but you're in the bin. Hornby, you have won. I hope this video was very informative to you, and hope you liked it too. Don't forget to like this video by tickling the like button down there. Anyway, you take very good care of yourself. Don't forget to tune back next time, and we'll have another video for you. This is me, Jenny Kirk, saying take care of yourself, and bye for now. You're a nerd. Nobody likes you.
Shut up and just do your thing.
No friends. You're a nerd.
Jan, stop talking about yourself.
Oh. Oh, I'm really sorry. Oh, nobody told me it did this.